Streamer, good quality. Party people in place to be. What's going on? It's me. And if you were here with us yesterday, I appreciate that. What we're doing here is, since we're ramping up to the show known as Survivor Series, the great tradition in wrestling, we're going to watch some classic Survivor Series. Or at least some interesting Survivor Series. I'm picking and choosing as we're going along which ones I think are interesting. Yesterday we watched. I'm along the network, by the way. You can watch along with me on the network. So go ahead and start queuing up Survivor Series 1994 as I speak. We started watching Survivor Series 1993 yesterday, and I chose that one because that was the Survivor Series of where basically nobody showed up. That was the Survivor Series of replacements. There were a shit ton of replacements, and that Survivor Series actually helped set the stage and helped correct the ship that Vince McMahon was going to wrong right into Lex Luger's hands, and to get probably oblivion had he continued that way. It helped steer the ship in the right direction, in the direction of Bret the Hitman Hart, really. For the next couple of years at the absolute helm of the ship, and you could see how the division was. The show itself had some bad moments in it, particularly the Smoky Mountain match, and actually, in all honesty, the bulk of that Hart family match, the ending of that match was so pivotal to the company as a whole, and to the company, to the Harts, to wrestling as a whole, really. Like, it helped set up a whole bunch of stuff. It helped bring Owen Hart to more people's attention than he was before. And it was a great, that entire culmination was a great story. So here we go. We're going to start watching Survivor Series 1994, which is a continuation of all that stuff. It's interesting how many things are still in place a year from that Survivor Series versus now. You know, so many things that were in place at one pay-per-view aren't in place at the next pay-per-view, yet let alone a year later. There's so many things so many stories that are seemingly reaching a crescendo and or moving on to the next plateau. There's one story that's from last year that continues on into this year that seems to be reaching that crescendo while setting up for another long standing story. As well as the Hart family saga is going to continue here. He's not going to reach a plateau. It's going to continue. Got some classic matches here. Bob Backlund, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon's team, casket match. Chuck Norris is in on this one. It's going to be interesting. So if you're watching along on your WWE Network device, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start yours as I start mine, so that you're in sync with mine. And I'm going to try to keep you up to date on where I am time-wise on this as we go along. We may be interrupted because I'm having to shoot this on my phone, and God knows people love to call me for some reason in 2016. Anyway, here it goes. Survivor Series 1994 starts right now. As it buffers, and now we get a commercial, which doesn't make do shit for us. Commercial. Your commercials may vary, obviously. I'm going to eat because I'm starving. I'm starving! Can I fast forward through this? Nope. Whatever. Now it's starting. That's very interesting how they're setting this whole thing up, and they have the backstage segments and all that. Case in point there, you saw Shawn Michaels mention how his teammates were on his team. that it was Shawn Michaels' team. Well, it really wasn't. At least that's not how it was set up to be. That was supposed to be Jeff Jarrett's team. The Teamsters were Jeff Jarrett's team. Because Jeff Jarrett was the one in the feud with Razor Ramon leading up to this. That was Jeff Jarrett's team. They even put Jeff Jarrett. That was Jeff Jarrett's team. Jeff Jarrett was the captain. What's going on, Mario? Jeff Jarrett was the captain. He had Shawn Michaels and Diesel on his team as well as Owen and Neidhart, but it was Jeff Jarrett's team. Something happened to make it Shawn Michaels' team. Something happened. There was some backstage shenanigans to make it Shawn Michaels' team because that was Jeff's. Shawn stole Jeff Jarrett's team. I don't know how it happened. I don't know the backstage story behind it. I wish I for the life of me, wish I did. I swear to God, I looked it up a few times and couldn't find anything telling me why the captainship was changed. But I know damn well that it was, because I know damn well that was Jeff Jarrett's team, because they called it Jeff Jarrett's team on TV, and in the magazines they called it Jeff Jarrett's team. That was Jeff Jarrett's team. That was not Shawn Michaels' team. Shawn Michaels stole that team. I don't know how, but the Clique intervened and it ended up being Jeff Jarrett or Shawn Michaels' team at the very last minute to fit the story of showing into the Royal Rumble. It's Jeff Jarrett who has the feud with Razor Ramon and has the match with Razor Ramon at that Royal Rumble. Whatever. Right, Mario, right, exactly. Why am I shocked that there's some backstage shit that happened between Shawn Michaels and somebody? Clearly there was some backstage shit because not too long before this, Shawn Michaels and Diesel somehow managed to convince Vince to shenanigan the tag team belts away from the Head Shrinkers, who were on a fucking run with those belts. Everybody loved them. People loved the... Somewhere between... It was just before SummerSlam. Just before SummerSlam, because showed up with the tag and Intercontinental Championship belts. If you remember, now think about this. I'm the king of useless information, by the way. Now think about this. Diesel had a belt, had a championship belt around his waist or on his shoulder for all sometime after WrestleMania. I think it was like right in the middle. It was WrestleMania, so it had to be like sometime probably in May. So sometime between May, and I'm not looking it up, sometime between May-ish of 94 and November of 95, Diesel always walked around with a belt. Always. Always. He did not walk around with a belt. He had the Intercontinental Championship, and just before he dropped it, he picked up the tag belt. Also, the second year in a row, Razor wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't think there has been two guys, or there probably has been over the years, two guys that ended up on... And, I mean, I'm sure there are guys who ended up in the same Survivor Series matches multiple times. But I don't think there have been two guys who, or a whole lot of guys who've teamed together multiple times. But we'll look it up. Sure, why not? Make sure the volume is down enough so I don't get strike. All right, try it again. So BSK. You're going to start to see remnants of BSK out there. Kama's in this Survivor Series. I believe this is his first Survivor Series. I don't think he made it to 92 as Papa Shango. This is about the time that the head shrinkers start losing their edge. Captain Lou Albano decided to give them wrestling boots for really no reason. Samu ended up looking up. He had to leave because of injuries. This was a match I, as a kid, was really looking forward to because of the guys involved. Again, as much as I hated Jeff Jarrett, kayfabe-wise, like, even though I didn't know what kayfabe was and I thought it was all real, I still knew he could wrestle. I still wanted to see this match. I still want to see the head shrinkers get their hands on Shawn Michaels and Diesel. I still want to see Razor to get it. By the way, Razor had beef with everybody on the opposite end of the ring. Everybody. The year before, essentially a vendetta with Shawn Michaels and Diesel over that Intercontinental belt. Jeff Jarrett just started coming into the picture over that Intercontinental belt. Meanwhile, in June, Razor went to the finals of the greatest King of the Ring of all time, hands down. Shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about. against Owen Hart. Jim D'Anvil Neidhart cost him the King of the Ring. Razor had to beef with everybody on the opposite end of that ring. Everyone. Barbarian. Jeff Jarrett very pressing down on the hard part of the click and trying to save it from the mid-guard was being dominated by the click. They just had it's honestly a good thing that Jeff Jarrett did to liven it up for Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. By the way, we're talking about as Davey had in this match. Just corner. Keeps going and very pressed. There's only Jim D'Anvil Neidhart take head trick. Luger does not get involved in this match until the absolute very end. The story that they've been telling for the better part of that summer. Oh my gosh, look at that strength. And look at the agility, the ability to get light by the anvil. To stay light by the anvil. That's incredible. Now, Fatu unable to get up those boots. Welcome back, Mario. Got another phone call. And he's got beef with Shawn and Diesel, of course. They've been going back and forth. As well as Owen. Partially over that King of the Ring. In a championship match. Razor didn't want to get in the Battle Royal. That's all that was. Razor didn't want to get in the Battle Royal. 93, he faced off against Bret for the heavyweight belt in a decent match. 94 was IRS. All right, we're gonna have to.